Junkyard Batman, Chapter 6. The Salvation Army opens at 10 a.m., and we are there at the door. Al, Uncle Lucius, and me. Honestly, I could have come on my own, but Uncle Lou insisted he help me pick out a suit, and Al scoffed at the idea, claiming I needed some nice plaid. I fear I am but a mannequin for these two men. If I can get out of here without spending $80, I'll be happy. He's got to look sharp and financially prosperous enough to get into Iceberg, Uncle Lou says. That place hosts galas for charity, as well as a number of prestigious balls and functions. Al rolls his eyes, spying a leather jacket as soon as we enter. It's a club. They need to please the women in the club to keep 'em coming back. Nothing pleases women like a dude. He darts off, sorting through the jeans section. It becomes a tug of war. Both men, their fashion ideologies radically opposed, bounce me back and forth into the dressing room like a racquetball. Al wants skater shoes. Uncle Lou pushes for a button-up vest. Al demands a big belt buckle shaped like Texas, to which I've never been. Uncle Lou insists corduroy is back in, especially for sport coats. During all of this, I spy her. She's here. Catwoman is here. She doesn't have the hood on, and in the full fluorescent lights of the store, she looks mildly miserable, but it is certainly her. Her predatory movement is gone, the sexiness giving way to the misery of retail. The only echo of her real persona is her thumb ring spoon. Dressed in a blue shirt and khaki slacks, she organizes a distant rack of used children's toys and plastic freezer bags. Under the light, I can see the pale purple highlights as she pulls back her hair behind her ear. She has piercings all the way up her lobe, little silver hoops. I did not realize she could actually get hotter. Al pokes me in my gut. Boy, what? He spies her. Oh. Looking around conspiratorially, Al confirms that Uncle Lou is digging through the leather belts. So, she seems nice, he says awkwardly. Say, you're getting deep into your 20s now, right, Bruce? 21, I ask. Where is he going with this? So, I'm sorry. As a man in your life, it was my responsibility to, have a chat with you. But I'm pretty sure I missed that boat. Oh no, really? Here? He places a leathery hand on my shoulder. I'd thought of taking you to Vegas to, get some experience, but it just slipped by, and, that one girl in those GED classes you seemed sweet on, so I didn't want to cause no trouble. He's talking about Valerie. She was nice, just somewhat empty. She liked pop music and reality TV, and we had nothing in common except her desire to be fingered and my desire to finger her. And before you haul off and judge me, yes. Yes, damn it. Batman is a virgin. So what? I've been building up to this for too long. Lifting weights, practicing fighting, training, building the Batmobile. These things are my priority. Have you beaten up riot cops? Fought Bane? Been shot? Yeah, maybe like one of those, but certainly not all. So stuff it. No judging me. With nearly misty eyes, Al leans in close to me. I can smell his morning cigarette. It is the most affection I've seen the man display. I'm sorry, boy. I'm sorry I never got your dick wet. Wow. Uncle Lou is walking up, slacks folded over his arms, but he sees the tender moment between Al and me and hangs back a moment. Catwoman catches his eye as she pushes a stocking cart and he approaches her. Miss, can you take these garments to the back dressing room, the one on the left? My God, he thinks this is a proper men's clothing store. She blinks at him, then drifts her eyes to me. Then to misty, loving Al. This right here, this is how Batman dies. She smirks, and then I see the look of recognition on her face. Not for Batman, but for the lurching goober at the pawn shop she saw in the door reflection. Sure thing, she nods. Relieving Uncle Lou of his polyester burden, her predatory walk has returned. Lightheaded, I return to the dressing booth. I can't even meet her eyes as she sets up clothes on a nearby rack. Will that be all for you? I see her name tag, Selina, with an I. I imagine saying it, whispering it to her, the tip of my tongue leaping from the top of my mouth at the start of the S. I have to speak. Say something, damn it. Yeah, thank you. That's all we need, thanks. Her eyes widen. My voice. Shit! She turns to Uncle Lou. There's some more belts over there, she directs. On that side, and my card has several pairs of shoes that are a size 13 that might fit. With genuine appreciation, Lou walks off. Al, however, does not require any redirection. He immediately sees the pleading in my eyes and scampers down an aisle of kitchenware, providing me some privacy with Catwoman. So, you drive your truck here? She coyly asks. Man, I need to find out a way to disguise my voice or something. You can talk all raspy. Or in the kids section is a Transformer mask that alters your voice. Maybe put it in your Bat mask? She's serious, like she's invested in the Batman thing. So, you work here? I ask like a dumbass. World's greatest detective. She nods. Kinda. I got caught, and now I'm doing time, she says without a shred of shame. But I like getting out, and if good stuff shows up in the donation box, I snag it. She looks at the pile of pants. You're about a 38-inch waist? I get tingly knowing she's been looking at my body. Realizing that I'm not going to respond, she continues. These are kind of fancy for beating up cops. Are you going somewhere nice? I lean in, relieved at the change of topic. I've got to get into Iceberg Lounge. That building is where they distribute meth all throughout Gotham. So you are... She looks at Uncle Lou's pant selection. Traveling back into the 90s to infiltrate the CNC music factory. She's right. I deflate. No doorman would let me walk into a nightclub. I'll have to climb in some other way. Maybe through the air ducts, or I can rappel up the side of the building. Or I could sneak in as a delivery guy, hide in a cabinet until the rest of the office is closed, and then... You need a hot chick, she interrupts my thoughts. To get into a place like Iceberg. They'll let a dweeb like you in if I'm on your arm. It took some creative work, but I managed to line the inside of a new sports coat with several small ratchet straps and a short pry bar. If I'm going to explore this building, I'm going to need to climb places and crack open locked doors. The weekend comes, and I'm waiting by the bronze penguin outside of the Penguin building. Looking up, I see small spotlights rolling around through the clouds, announcing that Saturday night is open for business. The sidewalk is packed with a line of people, men doused in cologne wearing their most starched button-ups, and women rocking their least comfortable heels and best eyeliner. And here she comes, thigh-high boots with thick heels, a pleated plaid skirt that hints at marvelous things, a boned corset, and a velvet choker with a silver kitty cat dangling from it. Her hair is up and back, showing off her neck in perfect ears, and her eyeshadow is smoky like the night sky through a campfire. The brass penguin and I cling to each other to keep from falling over. She rewards me further with a wily smile, her lips glossy purple. You're welcome, she says, slinking her arm into mine. I've got 100 pounds on her, and yet she is entirely in control, and I find myself gliding to the front of the line. She pulls me directly in front of the doorman. He blinks at me, and is about to tell us that there is a line, and then he sees her. Oh, hey, Selina. He steps aside, letting us through. Let me know how the night goes. Wait, what? As we enter the lobby, her boots clomping off the marble, she whispers, Ken gets a cut of whatever I lift from here. I get to come by once a month and work the place. The brass elevator doors open, and we step in with several other couples. The men eye her first, then me. Back off, guys. We ride in silence. I can't recall the last time I'd been in an elevator. We travel to the top floor, the 27th. And when the doors open, we are hit with a wall of thumping music, low lighting, and clinking glasses. The whole place is decorated to look like the inside of an Arctic cavern, walls aglow with dim blue light. 3 men approach us in tuxedos, offering us little metal bracelets to put on. They have codes for our drink orders, I'm thinking. The other couples have to give up their credit cards, but our guy just nods to Selina and lets us in. I'm guessing he gets a cut too. Don't order drinks, she says. Your bracelet won't work. Fine by me. Never cared for drinking anyways. The layout for the club is somewhat as I expected. The elevator banks and the kitchen are at the center, allowing the guests to fill in the perimeter where they can always see over the city. The windows are large, accommodating VIP sections on raised balconies overlooking the dance floor and DJ booth. This party is already hopping, with people sweating on the dance floor or carrying drinks back to their friends and dates. Waitresses and waiters dodge between everyone, trays high. There are little brass penguins everywhere with top hats and umbrellas. I am completely overwhelmed. There is so much noise and so many elbows and shouts and thumps from speakers that my head swims. Well, what now? Selina asks me. Looking back at the elevator, I just want to run. But I have a job to do. Can we get into the kitchen, find a service elevator to get back down? How do we get to the offices? I hear a laugh. A disturbing laugh, like a jackal. I've heard it before. Frantically searching about, I see him, sitting in a wheelchair. Joker. Obnoxious Hawaiian shirt and cargo shorts. He's in the VIP section, laughing hysterically. His gold teeth glitter from the dance floor lights, and he smacks a nearby waitress's ass when she tries to dip by. His pregnant girlfriend glares at him miserably. She at least has tried to look nice in a maternity dress, but she clearly would rather be somewhere else with her man. Yeah, that's him, Selina says. Stop looking in his direction. But he knows what I need. Makes sense that he's here, I say. Given he is high in the operation, I bet they sell here too. Selina nods. People aren't allowed to smoke it in here because of the smell, but anyone can easily get other things. A simple, reckless plan forms in my mind. I look to Selina, almost losing my train of thought at the sight of her holding my arm, looking up at me. But I've got to focus. I want to tell her no stealing, or to be good, but it's pretty clear Catwoman will do, as Catwoman does. I've got to check out the bathroom, I say. With a gentle squeeze, I take my arm from her and dart off to the men's room. Turns out there are several bathrooms in the club. There are 2 main bathrooms for the majority of guests right next to the kitchen. Washing my hands, I see a waiter walk in and use the urinal, so that confirms that there likely isn't a separate bathroom for staff. But after some wandering and peeking, I confirm that there are separate bathrooms on top of the kitchen. They are smaller, can only be reached by the VIP sections. That is where Joker will go to pee if he keeps drinking fruity drinks like he is. He'll wheel himself over there, and once inside, I'll lock it, and he is all mine. I should have a few minutes once alone with him, too. People will assume the door is locked because either sex or drugs, so any other men will hopefully just use the common guest bathrooms downstairs. A few minutes alone should be all I need. Hopefully. But there is a tuxedoed woman blocking the VIP staircase, and she looks grim. Someone way too drunk for the hour tries to get by her, but she checks his bracelet and sends him packing. I look around for Selina. Maybe this woman also gets a cut. But I can't find her. Catwoman is likely slipping around among the crowd, prowling for prey. Maybe I can get someone from the VIP section to invite me up? A horrible idea crosses my mind, and I feel gross thinking it. But it is all I've got. Moving through the gauntlet of the dance floor, I dodge flailing arms and stomping heels until I'm just under the railing of the VIP balcony, right near Joker's pregnant girlfriend. I can still hear Joker's jackal laugh as he is chatting with several other men, each wearing tracksuits while drinking directly out of bottles. I clear my throat. Man, I hope I don't get kicked out. Hey, Congratulations, I call up to Joker's pregnant girlfriend. She tears her eyes from Joker and looks around, her schoolyard pigtails flopping on her shoulders. I give a wave up to her, like the Romeo I am. Looking down at me, I see she isn't sporting her clown makeup, only the tattoo red dots on her cheeks remain. But instead, she's glittered to oblivion. I fear for her lungs. Her grim face cracks into a massive smile. "Aw, why thank you," she beams. Her voice is just as shrill as when she saved her man at the meth trailer park. It seems she has two verbal tones, pure joy and pure rage. "Boy or girl?" I ask. Her smile gets even more manic. "We're waiting until the day to find out. You got kids?" I look around for Selena. "Well, don't tell her I told you, but we just found out. We're so nervous." "Oh!" Preggers rolls out of her chair and beckons me around to the stairs. Bingo. She shoves aside the woman guarding the VIP section and reaches out a hand to me. I take it and we shake. "Harley," she says, "come tell me everything." "Bill." I feel awful. I do. She is lonely and wants someone of her own to speak with. Additionally, being pregnant with that wiry shit as the father has got to be miserable. But here I am, taking advantage. "Oh, you're a big one," Harley says. "Poor girl going to have a watermelon of a baby." Leading me to her corner of the balcony, Joker's red tattooed eyes latch on to me. The guy ignores her until she has her attention elsewhere. "Yeah, that's right, you meth head. I'm going to pleasure your baby mama right in front of you by listening to her." "Thought of any names?" I ask, sitting across from her. Catching her sideways glance to Joker, it is clear she wants him to see us talking. Harley might be playing her boyfriend for some jealousy. "I like Isabel for a girl and Buford for a boy." She's got the heaviest Brooklyn accent I've ever heard. It's almost stereotypical. "You from New York?" Man, her smile just keeps getting bigger and more manic. "Yepers, Brooklyn." As if that isn't obvious. She rolls her eyes playfully. "So, you two married, or you going to get married?" "Oh, the mother? Well, she doesn't want to get married, I don't think. Makes me nervous. I'm aiming for the right buttons." Harley deflates a bit. "Yeah, my Jay doesn't want to get married neither. I feel it would be better for a baby, but he claims he don't believe in marriage. Like it is just an institution, that we should pick each other anew every day." "Well, I get that," I concede, despite it clearly being a load of shit. "But personally, I'd feel a lot more secure for me and our kid if she married me like I asked." Harley's emotions are all over her face. They are obvious. The Joker is now laser beam focused on us, ignoring his tracksuit groupies. "Yeah, I just wish Jay would commit like that, even if he doesn't believe in marriage. Our baby gets a lot of benefits, legally and stuff, and emotionally. Developmentally, two parents together provide a strong cushion for a child's development during the early formative years." Yeah, I know. My moment of distraction makes me blind to the track team as they approach me. There are three of them, each surrounding me in the chair. With a look of mild annoyance, Harley tries to shoo them away with her hand. "Boys, we're talking here." "Joker wants us to get him a drink," one says. "Yeah, let's pick something out." It is clear they are going to drag me off somewhere. I look reassuringly to Harley. "Can I bring you back a water or something?" She sadly shakes her head. "Nah, you just take care of you." I get up. These guys aren't quite my size, but I can tell from the cauliflower ears and stitch scars that they are scrappers. Maybe they are the trash bag boys from the meth park? I don't know. "I've got to hit the bathroom first," I offer. They take the bait. One of them even smiles. I walk in first, leaving the door open behind me. We are the only ones here. Walking over to the mirror, I wash my hands and give them time to fill in and lock the door behind them. In classic intimidation fashion, they just leer at me without saying anything. They are waiting for me to be alarmed, or ask what is going on, or make some kind of plea. but pulling my small pry bar from under my coat, I take the initiative. That is a difference between me being trapped in here with them versus them being trapped in here with me. I clock the first one as hard as I can upside the temple. His knees lock and he falls flat onto the tile without a sound. The other two are on me, shocked and enraged. Each takes an arm of mine, but that only leaves them open for my teeth. A cauliflower ear is easy to bite off, for the record. He lets go of me when I spit it back at him. I stab the remaining guy in the shoulder with the pry bar. It doesn't break the skin or his tracksuit, but his arm goes slack. Wide open, I clock him in the cheek hard enough to spin him into a stall. First thing is first, I check the guy who went down on his face. He's breathing fine, but out cold, and his nose is sideways. I tug out several ratchet straps from inside my sport coat and bind his wrists behind his back. The guy clutching where his ear used to be is now over his shock, looking for a bit of revenge. As he steps at me, I stab down into his toes with my pry bar. A fancy sneaker does shit against hundreds of pounds of force crunching your toes. He cries out, falling backward into the hand dryer. We're making a lot of ruckus, but with the noise in the club, I'm certain that we won't be disturbed. The guy in the stall stumbles out, his one responsive arm ready to jab at me. With all my spine and weight, I kick him in the gut, sending him back into the stall. I'll save him for last. One ear is now openly sobbing, trying to crawl over his bound comrade for the door. I grab him by his good foot, tug him away, and twist his ankle violently until I hear it pop. I should feel sympathy from the whimper he makes, but I really don't. 2 more ratchet straps bind his ankles and hands. Wadding up a bunch of wet toilet paper towels, I make a ball and shove it in his mouth. A 3rd ratchet strap keeps it there. Now the last guy was smart enough to stay in the stall this time. He's wide-eyed, feet ready to kick me away. His only hope is that he can outlast me, tire me out, make me give up and leave. But I stand at the stall door, catching my breath. I slip my pry bar back into my coat and adjust my shirt, making sure it is still tucked in. Then I give him an insincere smile. "So what drink were you guys going to buy me?" I ask. He shakes his head frantically. "Man, just chill." Chill. I look down at the white tile and see the blood from the fight. The grout will be stained. Leaping in with sudden force, I avalanche on him. I'm seeing red. My knuckles take turns on his head as he flails to defend himself. Soon he is too weak to stop me, and he resigns to the beating I'm giving. I stop before he passes out. Flipping him over like a rag doll, I shove his head into the toilet. Water splashes everywhere as he is fighting for air. I pull him up by the hair, my teeth in his face as spit flies out of my mouth. "How is the meth moved? Out of this tower? How? Where? The vending machines get it from where?" I roar. The tight bathroom echoes my voice like a thunderous god of a cruel religion. "Chill!" He really needs to stop saying that word. I shove him down back into the toilet to contemplate his mistake. Then I bring him back up. "How many fingers does a man really need?" I say. I grip his limp hand, zero in on his pinky, and snap it sideways. As he howls, I shove his head back into the toilet again. He is sputtering as I bring him up, lungs sloshing toilet water. "Meth, now, give it to me," I command. "Basement," he chokes. "Storage area." I give him a goodbye bonk on the head and straighten up. The floor is slippery with blood and water. I ratchet strap the last guy to the pipes and step over the wreckage of the tracksuiters. Digging through their pockets, I pull out their phones and dial Gordon's pager number from the only one I can open. Here's hoping he calls back fast. Sliding it into my pocket, I root around in the bathroom. The sinks are fancy and have cabinets with extra towels and napkins. Picking up a large white towel, I exit the bathroom and place it over the doorknob. Hopefully staff and guests won't dare open it for a bit, presuming fun is being had inside. Returning to the obnoxious din, the water on my slacks are hidden by the low lighting of the club. I confidently walk back to the VIP balcony. Joker and Harley are snuggled up next to each other, looking out over the dance floor. She couldn't be happier. Her hand in his. Looks like she knows exactly how to get her man's attention. They are shocked when I pull up a chair and sit across from them, blocking their view of the city. Their eyes drift to my knuckles. I forgot to wash my hands when I left, and they are bruised and bloody. This is my city, I say, looking the demon clown in the eyes. Harley goes pale, terrified. Joker's looking back to the bathroom for his boys. I reach out, grip his wheelchair, and wheel him in close. Maybe he can smell the blood of his guy's ear on my breath. This is my city. Say it. He stammers in disbelief, then grins. This is my city, he hisses at me, daring me to do something. Harley is pleading with me not to hurt him, her pigtails swaying everywhere as she frantically shakes her head. The phone rings. Just a moment. I'm sorry, I say, feigning politeness. I have to take this. I answer. It's Gordon. Yeah, kid. Basement of the Penguin Building, storage room. I'm sitting right here with the guy who handles it too, Joker. Silence from the other end. How long can you keep him there? As long as I have to, but I'll need police in the club. Now. Joker's now chuckling. The fuck, man? I got friends, bitch. Gordon clearly heard that. On my way. I hang up and sit back. We glare at each other. Then I turn to Harley. Isabel's a lovely name, I say. She looks at me like I'm a monster. Maybe I am. Half an hour goes by. All the music sounds the same. Several times a waitress approaches us to take an order, but I politely wave them away. I remember that Selina is out there, working the crowd. It brings me back down to earth. My heart calms at the thought of her, and my knuckles finally register how much they hurt. But I don't dare take my eyes off Joker, and he doesn't turn away from me. Those red-inked eyeballs bulging out of his pale face, his gaunt, sunken cheeks contain a mixture of sneer and mocking laugh. I pity this kid who gets this thing as a father. I think of Harley. When the police come, they'll scoop her up too. They'll link her to the trailer park and the whole operation. Her kid will be born in prison. Hey, I say to her as sincerely as possible. If you leave now, you might dodge getting arrested. She blinks. Isabel Buford shouldn't be born behind bars, I persist. Joker snaps his head in her direction. Gripping her arm tight, he holds her fast. Think, man, that's your kid, I say to him. Let her go. I won't look for her. She can have this kid and even visit you. Skin you, bitch, skin you alive, he seethes. That's when I see Gordon. I am beyond relieved. I feel rescued. Flashing his badge, he tromps by the woman guarding the VIP section and walks over to us. If he is disgusted by Joker at all, his passive face doesn't show it. Both of them? He asks. I point to Harley. Not her. She's just here. They ain't together. He cocks an eyebrow. He knows I'm lying. But I don't care. Nope. Two other cops follow Gordon up, both detectives. One pulls out handcuffs. They pry Joker off of Harley, cuff him, and roll him away to the VIP elevator. Gordon stays behind, but doesn't bother taking a statement from Harley. He sends her away. The bathroom your work too? He asks, voice raised over the music. I nod. They jumped me, I said. Oh, did they? I'm feeling more disgusted with myself by the minute. Did you find the storage room? He nods. Nearly a ton of meth, among other things. An interesting computer setup, too. I'll let you look at it once everyone has their turn. I see Selina. She is intently watching me from a small booth across the club. She's sitting with two men. One leans in to kiss her neck, and she subtly moves away. He gets the hint and eases up. I've got to go, I say. I hand Gordon the phone I stole. Gordon nods as he begins searching the phone. Quickly I head down the VIP stairs, and Selina must have seen the pleading in my eyes. Politely she excuses herself from the men, accepting both their phone numbers gracefully. We walk toward each other. I just had to be near her. My knees are wobbly, which is normal post-adrenaline, but something else is wrong. I was feeling the urge to cry. White tile and blood. She sees me teetering and clutches my arm with her nails. Someplace quiet, she offers.